Om Shanti. This is Sakar Murli of 28th March 2023. Essence. Sweet children, remain honest with the true Father and you will continue to accumulate an income of multi-millions at every step. Question. Which attainment can no one apart from God enable you to attain? Answer. People desire to receive happiness and peace. You receive peace in land of liberation and happiness in the land of liberation in life. Therefore, no one except the Father can enable you to attain liberation or liberation in life. You children should now feel mercy for souls. You are wandering around. The poor people are wandering around search for the path. You have to show them the path. Song on the path of justice. Om Shanti. This song is also for you children because only you children are following the path of truth and observing the direction of the true Father. Some move along very well whereas others don't. Those who follow this path very well will climb a high status. Those who don't follow this path cannot climb a high status. You have to remain honest with the Father and the bridegroom because you receive his true directions. All others give false directions. Human beings give only the false direction to human beings. It is remembered, Maya is false and the body is false. Here there is falsehood and nothing but falsehood. There is no falsehood in the land of truth. You are now making effort for the land of truth. You children have to remain very honest with the Father. He is for all. After all, the Almighty Father, by being honest with Him, you will continue to become multimillionaire at every step. Those who are false cannot become multimillionaires. To lie the Father is very bad. Always remain honest. Otherwise, you don't be able to climb a high status in the land of truth. Acha, this is a cause for the children. Therefore, you children now have to learn cleverly always with which you have to explain those who are senseless. Why are they called senseless? Because they have no understanding. They say that God is the one who creates the human world and He is the creator. However, the creation does not know who their creator is. They do devotion to attain peace and the happiness. We too used to do that after we found the Father. People sing devotion songs to Krishna and remember Him. They make spiritual endowment of to please Him, but they don't know what they should ask Him for. They don't know who created them. You children know that until you found the Father, you have been performed many types of devotion and the making many types of spiritual endowment, etc. What was the result of doing all of this? Nothing at all. The world had to become Tamopradhan. They don't even think about whether they receive anything or not by the spiritual endowment they make. You now understand that you don't receive anything at all. What they don't in the intellect of any of them. Sannyasis say that they are making spiritual endeavor to make the land of nirvana. However, only someone who knows the way there and has been there into return could show others to the way. No one else can show the way. Those who come down have to make rebirth. They have to continue to make rebirth until the end. Everyone has to remain here until the human world reaches the state of total clean and world is destroyed. They believe that many people have emerged in the light and they have been reside in the paradise and gone to heaven. In fact, no one has gone to heaven. They don't know anything about their heaven is, where the land of nirvana is, what exists there, and souls have to return there. You know all of you about heaven and where the land of nirvana exists. You know all of this and number wise according to efforts you make. Ask anyone who comes, what do you want? You adapt gurus. What desire do you have in the heart? In fact, you Brahmins know their desires. They don't know what they want or what they want should have to desire for. If they don't like something here, they make spiritual endowment to the liberated from that. There are the just two lands for you to go. The land of nirvana is the land of peace where souls reside. Do you want to go to that land? You children should feel mercy for them. The poor people are wandering around. No one knows the path there. There is just the guide. No one liberates anyone from the sorrow and takes him the land of happiness in the same at this one to make you liberation in life until he makes and call the attain of liberation in life. The one is the Father has these prosperities. Until God comes to the devotees, you cannot receive either of them. In heaven, there are the both happiness and the peace. Why do you speak the peace? Because there is no fight or battle, etc. Here, however, the real land of peace is the land of nirvana, where all souls remain in silence. When you souls receive organs, you speak, so there is the both peace and happiness. Until God comes and to the devotees, you cannot receive either of them in heaven. There is both happiness and peace. Why do you speak of peace? Because there is no fight or battling, etc. Here, however, the real land of peace is the land of nirvana, where all souls remain in silence. When a soul receives organs, he speaks. When a soul receives organ, he speaks. So there is both peace and happiness there. There is happiness through wealth. There is a lot of wealth here. There is no wealth and people are sincerely able to eat a piece of bread. Those who have wealth have all the material comforts and aeroplanes and big spaces, etc. You need to have wealth and also peace. You need body that is free from the diseases too. It is the Father who gives you all of that. It is explained to you that this iron age is the land of sorrow. The new world is the land of happiness. There is no sorrow there. There is everything, purity, peace and happiness. The other is the land of liberation. No one can stay here externally. Souls definitely have to take rebirth and pay their parts. Souls stay in the supreme abode until their parts have to be begun. You remember your truth, sweet form. You is always limit and the number of the actors in the play. There are these many actors in such and such a play. This drama is eternally predestined. There is a limited number. There is a limit of 330 million deities in Bharat. At this time, many have been converted. So, when anyone comes, first of all, ask him what he desires. What is you want? There is no benefit in simply having a glimpse. People generally go to Guru with some desire. One desire is attain someone and receive blessings in order to become victorious over something. Some say, so you are such a path that you remain peaceful for all time. The mind is very miscellaneous. Tell them you have to find peace in the supreme abode. One is the land of peace, and the another is land of happiness, and the third is land of sorrow. Tell us what you want, and we can then tell to what spiritual endeavor for efforts you should make for that. Spiritual endeavor and effort are the same thing. Devotees and make spiritual endowment to go the somewhere else or go back to the supreme abode. No one can attain external liberation. This drama is externally predestined. Sannyasis then have to return to their religion of renunciation. Christianity will definitely to be established by the Christian. In the golden age, the new world, there is everything, purity, peace and the happiness. It is called the land of happiness, Sivalaya. This is Vaisyalaya, a portal. What do you want? Do you want peace? You will find the land of peace. What will be the until the part of those who land of happiness? That is until the part of desire starts. Everyone will have to come number wise to play their parts. If you make effort, you too will go to the parts of the desires. That is starts. Everyone will then have to come number wise to play their parts. And you will go to the paradise. There should be the tempt that the Bharat were in the paradise. Only from the Father do you want to receive the inheritance. He comes and gives the children this introduction. If the Father won't hear, how could you children recognize him? It is not that you will believe that they are the children of the God. If they were in the say that we could ask him, okay, tell me, what does God creates? He creates heaven. So what are you stumbling around the hell? There we have to tell them 84 baths. God sent you to the heaven and have taken 84 baths. You have now ended up in hell. Your 84 baths have now come to end. You don't know this, and we are telling you. At first you have to in heaven and took 84 baths. You now have to remember the Father and heaven. You have to remain as pure as lotus. Also explain to sannyasis, you are the Hatha yogis and whereas this Raj yogi. And while living at home in your family, you have to live like a lotus. This is family path. Your path of isolation is completely separate. This is the family path of attain liberation in life. Baba has also told us, now remember the Father, and finally thought is, will you lead you and your destination. Your burdens of sins will be destroyed when you remember the Father. There are just these two places where can be received peace and happiness. What do you want? Do you have to go heaven? You want to remember, you are the mother and you are the father. If you want to limitless happiness, then study Raj Yoga while studying in your household. You have to remain pure. There is no compulsion. Either can remain here or you are one them. It goes to the becoming masters of heaven. The one who one must climb into the that. Remember the Father and the inheritance, and remember pure. And a sannyasi wrote, I am the holy man, but I don't know the real path. I have heard that I cannot find the path from you. So what should I do now? If I belongs to you, all my followers could also come. However, no one come belongs to Baba in that way. He thought that the followers could accept whatever he told him. However, he don't do that. On hearing the name of PKs, they could say that the magic spell has been cast on him. Yes, Some might match, but we are not going to take over the sannyasis ashram. For instance, some might understand that the path is good, but could what mean we could look after the ashramas? Yes, daughters can go and give lectures there, and if they like there, they could stay here. But what could we want with this ashram? We write, and I can come take some teachings. You have to write to him. You are making spiritual endowment to go there. Where I am the aim and objectives are going that. Whom do you want to meet? They do want to go. You are the Hatha Yogis or sannyasis, whereas ours is Raj Yoga. It is the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, who is the teaching this. This iron age is the land of sorrow, where the golden age is the land of happiness. Look, there are so many religions and so much fightings and quarrelings in the iron age. In the golden age, there is just the one religion, that is the Sato Pradhan world. As the king and queen, so the subjects all are Sato Pradhan. Here, as are the king and queen, so the subjects all are Tamo Pradhan. There is a forest of thorns and that is a garden of flowers. So there are just two paths, Hatha Yoga and Raj Yoga. This Raj Yoga is for heaven. You will come the kings in the heaven. It is the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, who established heaven. He alone teaches you Raj Yoga. If sannyasis say that they could like this say and only the path of isolation, they could not be able to take knowledge. They could have to stay in the household. It is the law that we have to provide for those who are living behind. Understand it very clearly, and then charity begins at home. You have left your wife. If someone is celebrate from the birth, we could have left his parents. You have to explain to them as well. You first have to explain the rules and regulations. It is the task of father along with to make old world to new world. The Father comes from the Supreme Abode. He is the purifier of the impure, the one who changes hell into heaven. Only deities reside in heaven. All the rest live in the land of Nirvana. He is the only one who gives everyone peace and happiness. The Father comes to establish the one religion and destroy everything else. All others will go to reside in the Supreme Abode. This is the time of settlement. Everyone will settle all their accounts and return home. All souls have received their own parts. Some play their parts for some many births and other plays their parts for so many births. Everyone has to become Tamo Pradhan. Either can any of return home, yet nor this eternal liberation. Then there is liberation in life. We are making efforts in attain liberation in life, and liberation is also included in that. If you want liberation, then remember the Father so that your sins are destroyed and you will then go to the Father. The Father Himself shows you this one path. You have only to continue the spin in the discussion of self-realization. If you continue to study this, you will go to heaven. Therefore, sannyasis have to go back their households. Courage is needed for that. There is the Jnaneswar Gita, in which it was written, have one child and then adapt renunciation, so that your claim can be the latest continue. In that case, no one could remain celebrate from birth. Bhishma Pitamaha, who are celebrated from the birth, is respect a great deal, but people don't have that faith in others. They think that all impossible to live in the household and not indulge in vice. However, either do they have to help to God, the Almighty authority, nor do any of them have the power of teach Raj Yoga and establish heaven. No one except the God can be liberation, anyone from the sorrow and take them to happiness. The Father has to the key of both gates. When the gates are to heaven open, the gates of liberation also open. How can you go to heaven without first going to the liberation? Both gates are open at the same time. Acha. To the sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Bap Dada. The spiritual children says Namaste to the spiritual father. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. Essence for Dharana. First point. In order to attain liberation, remember the Father and have your sins destroyed. In order to attain liberation in life, become a spinner of the discussion of self-realization and also study this study. Second point. Become merciful and show the way to whom and those who are wandering around. Help everyone receive their inheritance of the liberation and liberation in life from the Father. Blessing. May you be the constant embodiment of the happiness of all attainments by keeping your spirituality and staying seated on your seat of self-respect. Each and every child has the speciality of the one or another virtues. All are special and victorious and the great master almighty authorities. Keep this spiritual intoxication constantly in your awareness, for it is called self-respect. And there cannot be any arrogance in this self-respect. The seat of arrogance is the seat of thrones, and so you must never try to sit on the seat. Keep your spirituality and sit your seat in the self-respect, and you will continue to experience yourself to be constantly happy, elevated, and an embodiment of all attainments. Slogan. Only those who are give blessings and forgive all souls with their good wishes are benefactors. Om Shanti.